Hey y'all, so we are coming on, guess what, with another tutorial. I'm gonna do some UV resin tonight. It's still a little too cold for me to be mixing and pouring resin, so UV resin is the way to go. Plus we're gonna be making some shamrock earrings for St. Patrick's Day, so that is fun. Sorry, I have everything all set up. We're all in here. I just had to get myself in my seat, and it's a little odd how I should be in, but we're good. We be good. So we're going to be using Let's Resin UV resin. I need to open a brand new bottle. I have to order some soon, since that is my last bottle. So these are very tricky. So I use my metal side. The smaller side is going to be better. This one though I used in our Valentine's to open paint, so I don't want to use that one. Let's use this small one. But it's just easier to stab through the foil and the plastic than to try to peel that fully off. So, you know, that's what we do. Should I probably have had gloves on for this? Probably. You know, it's fun. A little bit of resin on my fingers, so I have my resin remover gel here. Oh, we don't need that lid anyway, so just wipe that off. Perfect. And lid on. We are ready to roll. Ready to roll. Alright. So, we are going to try something. You know me. We always be experimenting. We always be doing something. Something new. Something crazy. That's just me. That's who I be. So, I didn't have any shamrock shaped like earring pieces, like bezels, so I decided what we would do is we would make them. See how it works. I'm not a wire worker by any means, so I don't really know if this is gonna work, but I think it will. So we're gonna try it. I don't really, oh, that is springy. I don't really know how much we're gonna need for the first shamrock. I don't want them overly big, but I don't want to have to pull a new piece of wire. So I'm going to cut more than plenty because, let's face it, there's a ton on here. I don't even know where I got this wire. I've had it so long, I don't know. It might have been in like a craft thing that somebody gave me that they weren't going to do. Weren't going to use. So I'm going to leave our tail. And then these have different like loops, so we can put it on here and like bend it, you know, get us a loop. I'm looking here. I'm trying to think about this, how I would, okay, maybe. I mean, this is all, you know, new territory, y'all, so we might have to play with it just a little and see how we do. I was trying to make it to where I could go just one piece. I gotta think about this. So I didn't really think this one through. Normally, I would spend an evening in my head working out how I was going to do this. Okay. I kind of like where that's going, but not quite. So we're gonna go a different direction. So I am going to make one loop, and then I gotta go around it this way. I'm gonna make another loop in this. Is that what I want to do, or do I just want to? Do I just want to do some loop-a-de loops? Okay. I am going to cut this again because, see, we're just working this through, working it out. Okay, so I'm gonna go a loop here. Right? Okay. And a loop there. Okay. It's not exactly what I'm wanting, but it's kind of working. It's actually kind of working. I'm trying to not make it be too bulky, but it's kind of difficult. So if you're a better wire worker than me, you might be able to figure this out. And there's probably a tutorial out there that I could have watched before I tried to teach you guys. You know, hey, we'll learn it together. We're getting closer to a shamrock. We're not quite there, but we are getting rather close. The nice thing about this wire that I got, it's very bendable, so I do like that. I have another thought. Do have another thought here. So these ones don't have like a little cutter, but this one does. So, you know, I can use it to cut the wire. Okay, so I want two pieces. One's a little bigger than the other. That's fine. Just fine. All right, so I want to create a figure 8, basically. So I want to create a figure 8. I got my pliers stuck to it. I promise we'll get to the resin part, y'all. I promise. If this doesn't come together soon, we're just gonna move on from this thought. But you know, I am kind of one of those people that's a little determined to a fault to get something. It's a really cute bow, y'all, or the infinity. I'm not gonna say what else it might look like if you're dirty-minded or an adult. No need to go there. But yeah, I do like these pliers. I've never worked with them, so this is kind of fun to actually get to work with them. I've always seen them and wanted a pair, and I finally bought some because you know what? You need them for doing wire things. Okay, so I do believe that's gonna be, can I somehow, some way, problem is too, like once you get a pair made, you're gonna need another one. And you want them to look kind of similar. Okay. I'm not there yet. So I'm gonna scrap that. Oh, okay. I'm getting frustrated with it. So moving on. That is what we call, you know, something that didn't work out. We're not quite ready for that level of crafting maybe. Or I just haven't worked it out in my mind. So I'll try to work it out in my mind. And maybe next tutorial we'll do it. Or maybe we won't. Because maybe I won't have figured it out in my mind. You know, it's just one of them things. Like, we might or we might not. We'll have to see. Okay. I am going to get me some UV resin tape so that we can work with it. I love putting my popsicle sticks because the tape doesn't really stick to them long term, but gives us, you know, some weight with our tape to work with. Okay. Let's get some scissors. Just cut that roll off. So I have a few different little things. I've got some, I would call like Lucky Charms. It's got some little hats, rainbows, clovers, little sequins for the gold, and then sprinkles. Pretty fun. Then I have these flat backs, which I was thinking potentially we could drill a hole in one of the leaves and then that would be a cute earring. You could also UV resin on like a stud earring and that would be cute too. But I'm going to try to like do a hole with them. And you know, because I can't just do one thing. I was like, I'm going to come on and we're going to make one pair of earrings. No, this woman just can't do that, y'all. I got these fun stickers. Oh, you can't see them. Not light. So these, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them down and then they're going to be kind of my base to give us our design. And then that's what we're going to go over with the UV resin and create an earring essentially. So let's do that first. Let's do 4 of these. One pair we're going to turn into stud earrings. So this is already going to be a 2-parter because you know we can't make and we can't do the UV part and make the earrings all in one tutorial because it would be way too long. I'm going to put this white piece of paper under so y'all can see these. I don't think the camera is picking them up. So just bear with me while I transfer. I gotta get my nails to grow out. I was not good about my nails recently, and I have no nails. And that is not a good spot to be when you're trying to peel a sticker. So I'm sticking it straight on that tape. By the way, Hobby Lobby, St. Patrick's Day, $1.99, 40% off. Works out to like $1.20. Fantastic deal. And you end up with 24 pieces. I was going to count them and then I was like, I bet you it's on this paper. Okay, so now you can see we're going directly onto our paper or onto our tape so we know exactly what we're doing. I think with these, I want to just glitter them up. I don't even want to do anything more than that. So I am going to do one in more of a chunky glitter and one more in a really fine glitter. Let's get one of my little mixing cups. I got a couple of them here. This one looks pink. I don't know if y'all can tell that. Looks very pink. It's just got dyed. It's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna have to get more silicone brushes. These are getting, silicone will eventually kind of dry out. And that brush was feeling very Crusty, musty, and dusty. Oh, new resin comes out so beautifully. Okay, so for this, we're just going to put a little bit of resin in. I was going to pour that in, however, I know myself, and I will end up dumping the whole bottle in accidentally. So I have this little thing, and we're going to just sprinkle in what we need, what we think we need. We might. This is like a metal scooper, which is perfect for this. It's counterculture DIY. It was probably on clearance, honestly, because you know this crafty person here doesn't buy anything full price. I know. Okay. Ooh. Woo. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to stay within the clover part, the leaf part, and I probably ended up with way too much resin and glitter mixed. That's okay. So we'll use it on something before the night's over. Oh, I wonder if I have a, I don't think I have a clover. I dripped a little there, but I'm going to show you how we clean that up in just a moment. I was thinking if I had a silicone clover mold, that would be really handy, but I don't think so. Okay, so clearly this side of my silicone brush is dirty, but I have this side that's not, and I can come in here and I can just wipe that out of the way, and then just with a paper towel wipe that off. And then I would suggest go one more time, like I shoved it up against that, and then also come back out with it, just so that you don't end up with like a little tail of it. I think that's fine. And we might have to get these in the light pretty quickly, just for the sake of, I don't want it to run too much outside our, I always do that. I stuck my fingers to the tape. I don't want them to run too much outside our leaves. The leaf petals here, the clover petals, or the shamrock, whichever way you want to call it. Have y'all ever found a 4-leaf clover? I have. There was a patch of clovers where I grew up, and was kind of cheating because this patch, I think it had whatever the strain is that makes a 4-leaf clover, because it was definitely had quite a few in it. So that was pretty cool. I've never found anything like that since. Okay, so yes, this is definitely, just in that few minutes, I was like, oh, it was looking okay, and then all of a sudden it didn't look as hot. So I'm just going to go in with this brush and do a little cleanup on it, and then let's go ahead and get this under the light so that we can get a, oh, I just dropped my silicone brush right on the floor. That's a lovely. We'll have to recover it momentarily, because I do like that one. I'm like, dang it, I really like that silicone brush. Okay, yes, I should probably be using our double part of this. However, that would have taken me longer to get all set up. And more than anything, I'm just wanting to set this slightly so that it's not shifting. And then we'll do a more thorough curing here for sure. All right, we back in the saddle, right? So we'll get my other half ready, And I'm going to get a tray ready because I want it to be on a tray so that both the bottom and the top can get done. Of course, it's doing that 6-minute thing. I guess I really got to read the instructions better, but I don't think it needs that long. I could probably, yeah, they're sticky, but they're not wet. So, perfect. This one came out better. Maybe would be best one at a time. Probably would have been better, but that's okay. It's all good. We're just playing. We're just having fun. Okay, so this is a little bit chunkier. Oh, well, we just spilled it on our table. And it's more iridescent. So, I am gonna put a little bit of mica in there. Not a ton, just a sprinkling. This is an iridescent or interference green, so it will give you a green shimmer depending on what light you're in. So that's fun. So I'm going to mix the glitter, mix that mica in. Again, it's not a ton. It's just to give it enough of a, I don't know what I want to say, like just enough to give it some bedazzling. I might have to add a little bit of UV resin. And this is pretty thick and it might not spread out very well because it is chunkier and thicker. So let's add a little bit more. I have to find a UV resin mold because we're going to need to use it to use up this glitter that we've. Okay, I do not like the chunkier stuff as well as I do the fine stuff. Working with it doesn't mean I don't like the actual piece that I'm doing, but working with it is definitely not as easy as that fine was. That fine was, I mean, I put a lot of glitter in there and it just flowed, went where I wanted it. This is like sticking to my, you can just see it's like full on sticking to the silicone brush. Can't get it off the brush. Like I would almost think that my resin was curing, but I know it's not because it hasn't been out here in the light long enough. Sometimes if you have too much of a bright light in your workspace, which I do because we record, so I want there to be more light than maybe I would craft in. So, or, you know, truthfully, let's be honest, we want to be able to see what we're crafting, so we might have more light in our space. So because of that, if you have too strong of a light too close to your work surface, you could potentially start curing your UV resin without meaning to. So that would lessen your work time with it. So just be aware of that. It gets very sticky and tacky and really not enjoyable to be trying to deal with. So I would tell you to, you know, turn your light a different direction to try to help prevent that. The extra of our fine glitter resin I did put under like a black styrofoam or foam piece. It's not styrofoam, it's just a foam piece. So that it's protected and, you know, not getting messed with essentially. It's just us hanging out. That way the light's not getting to it. Okay. And I do that even when I'm curing because let's be real, when we're curing, that light is extending out, you know, it's extending I swear sometimes. Let's see. Is that gonna work? Is it gonna stay at that? Okay. Whew. That resin is strong right now. I don't even know what I was saying. Oh, let's face it, the light, it's light. So wherever it's not blocked off at, it's getting to. So if I left that cup near here or even off to the side where you can't see, that light could still potentially get to it. So I keep it under just like a black, you could do a black piece of paper, something that creates a dome over it, whatever, just to block the light, essentially. So we're going to do 60 seconds. Then we're going to add some clear to the top to incorporate the whole sticker area. And then we will cure top and bottom on our tray so that we get a full on cure. So I'm going to go ahead and carefully, I'm going to keep that white paper there so you can see. They definitely spread out a little bit, but they're shamrocks, you can tell, right? All right, so for this part, I don't really need to keep it the shape. I'm just gonna round off the shape, if that makes sense. Now I'll have to be careful that I'm not extending over too much. And I'll clean up those edges so that it's not so, I don't know what I want to say, globby. Like, those are pretty globby. Maybe should have done these a little bit better, but also forgot that I have a brand new bottle of resin. We got some bubbles going, but we're going to be working with this here for a minute, so it's all good. I'm going to grab one of my bottles, or not bottles, my little cups though, so that I can, as I get these where I want them, I can bring the extra resin right on up and just put it in this container. Be careful not to put your hand in where you don't want it to be. And we can probably, we should be able to cut some of this if we needed to. But I really don't want to have to do a lot of cleanup work. So I'm just really trying to kind of not be so massively big and out of the way. So I'm just going to take off a little bit there. I don't mind being round. And truthfully, if we keep this round shape, then I'm able to drill a hole up here, which would be ideal. We won't have to go through a leaf. Should almost drew a circle so that I could get them to be the same kind of shape. I might be able to pop this bubble, maybe, or we're going to split them into two. Yeah, I kind of like making this into an oval shape. Okay, so we definitely got some bubbles. Let's, oops, wobbly tray because it's a level table. It's not mint. Ooh, do you see this happening? Like, those are trying to connect. Nope. I'm gonna take your little kiss of the Irish. We're gonna come back. Basically, it's like, oh, there's my friend over here. Yeah, no. No, no, no. I need you to come back. You're back. Okay. What was I going to hit? Yep. Found it. Okay, a little lighter. I blew it out by accident. That will pop these surface bubbles. You want to be really close to your resin to get them, but you do need to be careful. Resin is flammable, So you do not want to be in one spot for too long, because you could set it on fire. And let's face it, we do not want that tonight. That is not on my bingo list today, okay? Oh, these two are trying to kiss again. I don't like it. I don't like how sloppy this guy got and how sloppy this one got. I'm really not liking these two. And I have smeared UV resin because I didn't clean the tip of my silicone brush from when I painted the glitter on. I didn't clean that end, and so as I'm using the other end, guess what? Resin running all up my hand. So we'll take a break while that is curing. We got kind of a hot mess. A hot mess, I say. Ooh, I gotta put some rubbing alcohol in this. I don't even think I can get to my rubbing alcohol right now. I'm gonna rearrange this not entire room. I take that back. That was a lie. That was a fib. I had moved my craft tables around. One to fit this, you know, standing desk. And two, then I got that storage cart. And I love that. And where I keep it, I need to move a thing out. But we had Christmas and it was just crazy. Okay, those are still pretty tacky. So because of that, I'm going to go ahead and do another 60 seconds. So it's still, I've got all the big pieces where they need to go. But there is still a lot to get put away. A lot of the smaller stuff. And and there's this one section that is like, I don't even know, y'all. Do you have just like, think of your junk drawer as a junk aisle. This should be a walkway, and it's a junk, filled with junk. It's not really junk, it's just, I don't know where that stuff is going to go kind of situation. So, you know, that's where we be. That is where things are with it. So I'm just like, okay, I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss of that, and I'm a little over tackling it, so I haven't tackled it in a little while. All right, let's see. Oh, so much better. Okay. Let me see. Oh my goodness, y'all, we might have a complete fail episode. I think that's what we're going to have. So, can y'all see what happened? My sticker just, like, didn't come up off the tape. I really thought that the UV resin would stick to it and just pull it right up off the tape. I was wrong. Oh, this one almost tried to stay under there. I at least got the sticker off, but look, sticker's on my thumb, and there's this. That doesn't do us any good. Now, could we maybe go like, might be able to save these. Okay. Wasn't the direction we thought it was going to go, but that's okay. Alrighty. Yep. Oh, so this is what we are going to call one of those. Hey, it didn't exactly turn out how we envisioned, so it needs a little work, but we're gonna make it work, right? Sometimes you just got to get creative in what you do. And this is what I had expected right there. Why did that one work, but none of the others did? So now, though, I got to get it off of there so that I can flip it around so it looks like the rest. Oh my gracious. Let's see if an X-Acto knife I can do it without scratching. And I would say put a sticker right over top of it, but the problem would be that it would be the wrong direction. And our petals aren't perfect, but we get the idea, right? We're going to salvage these. We are going to salvage these. Okay. I'm not going to have a total epic fail episode. That's good. So, as I was saying, this is one of those where, like, hey, if it doesn't first work the way you thought, you might have to adjust a little bit and change things up. And you might have to get a little creative. And so that is what we are doing. We are getting extra creative, all right? We're going to call it extra creative. But what I wanted to say is, like, I don't consider myself an expert, okay? So when I say this, just know that I don't. Y'all might think or consider me an expert, and that is wonderful. And thank you so much, because I obviously don't feel like I'm an expert, but I love what I do, and I love doing tutorials, and I love sharing my crafting abilities. So that's why I do what I do, right? So you might consider me an expert, or you might not, and that's fine too. Everybody has their own opinion. I don't consider myself an expert because I don't know it all. I don't. But you know what? I am not afraid to try, and I'm not. Let's see how I want to say this. It's not that I'm not afraid to fail, because who likes failure? Nobody. But I am not afraid to have it not go as planned and be able to work with it from there. So, you know, there's that. That's what I would say. Like, it's a work in progress sometimes. And yeah, you get a little creative. I am kind of trying to, as y'all might be able to see, round these out or oval them out a little bit. Some areas are pretty thick with resin, so that's not coming off very easily. And some areas are super thin in resin. So we've got a little bit of both. And some are pretty close to the edge of the sticker. So I'm trying to be aware of that. These are going to be perfectly imperfect, is what I've decided. Okay. Whew. Yep. It is definitely interesting. That is for sure. Alright, I was stretching my arm to see what I could do. I don't feel like I have, you know, sometimes you just don't feel like you have what you want, when you want it, where you want it. That is how I am feeling right about now. It's like, why am I not finding the... Oh, let's do this mold. This one's fun. I was having a hard time finding one that I liked, but I like this one. We're going to come back to those, but I want to get this other resin in so it can start being the way it's going to be. Let's do this shape. This looks fun. I am going to put the chunkier layer in first. Oh my gracious, there's a hair. These have kind of a texture, which is cool. you know? So that's where I'm going to put this. Now, I have to be aware that I just missed the mold completely. I have to be aware that I only have so much of this one. So I'm just trying to get the darn hairs out of here. Get a little bit in to that part, and then we're going to put in the other. Ooh, I'm actually excited by these. So it may not have a shamrock clover on it, but you know what? It's going to be shamrock themed. St. Patrick's Day, fun green. You know, if you're not into the shamrocks, you still would wear green on St. Patrick's Day, right? So this is fun. I'm going to start with filling up the top, but I'm going to also come down to the bottom. It's not like this isn't going to be in that part either. It's going to be there. But again, I only have so much of this mixed up, so we're not going to fill these right this moment with this, what little we have. But we'll get a layer on. Or get some. Right now it looks like I'm building little pizzas, little green pizzas. Aren't they yummy? So yummy. Okay, let's go ahead and put some clear in here so that I can get that kind of more moved around and more of a base. And then we'll add more glitter as we need here, because we definitely gonna need some more coloring. But I just kind of want to give us a base. These are gonna be pretty. Oh, gonna be pretty. Yes, yes, yes. And by adding the clear, like the way that I've done this, we're going to get some layering definition. So you're going to get some depth in them. We're going to put one more layer on top once this cures. And that layer, well, at least one more, it might be two. Do a real thin layer on there here in a minute. Once we cure this up a little. The depth is going to get in there, which is really cool. You're going to get different layers in there, and it gives you a 3D definition, which is a lot of fun. So that's why I do enjoy adding a little bit of resin that's clear and doing it that way. One, we needed it, but two, it thins it out a little bit and makes it really nice. These little guys, they're cute. They're just a little bit of a hot mess. Hot Mess Express. Here we come. I should have known. This week has just been, whew, y'all feeling it? Has it been in the air? Or am I the only one? Last week has been something. What should I say? That's one of something, I swear. Just a little bit cuckoo. People been off their rocker. I feel off my rocker. Oops. I turned it on when I pulled it off. Okay, so one way you could test without like putting your finger in it is use your silicone brush, or get one of those that has the hard side and like tap it and you can hear. It's nice and solid. Alright, so I want more of a glitter back on these. So I am going to mix up some more resin, UV resin, with our glitters. I'm going to do both glitters just because I want it to have a little bit of both in this next layer. Not as much of the thick as I am the thin or the fine. It's not really thin, it's just fine glitter. Also, if you work with glitter, it's just going to get everywhere. Just accept it, and it's fine. If you can't accept it, it's not fine. I don't suggest working with it because look at that. Got these even dirty. Got that mold right there all dirty. So now, before anything can go in that mold, if it's not this green, it's got to be cleaned with some tape. And even still, it may end up with some green. And that's just how it goes. These are made bright, but they're fun. It's not necessarily a color. Green is just not a color I would normally choose, honestly speaking. But I'm not gonna lie, I think these are a little fun. I'm liking these. Maybe that's my thing. I just need to stick in my lane, right? I need to stop getting so darn creative with, oh, let's try wire. Oh, let's try putting a sticker on tape and it's gonna peel off. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it? You know, goodness gracious. Like, y'all should have just been like, come through and telepathically in advance tell me, don't get crazy. You're great at what you do. Don't step outside your lane. So, no. We gotta experiment. That's how we learn. That's how we have fun. We can laugh at ourselves. You know? That's gonna need more than just a little bit. These, we got to do something, and I'm just struggling with them. Let's put them on some tape. Sticker side up this time. Okay. We're in agreement, right? We can all agree upon that. Sticker side up. And let me get my little paper here. Hang on just a second. I got a popsicle stick in my mouth with our tape hanging. I just, you know. Okay, let's, oh yeah. I was like, let's make sure that I go sticker setup. But guess what? The green is definitely shiny on the sticker setup. So I know that we're the right way. I'm not going to go crazy with this. I am going to go very small in the center, and then I'm going to push it to the edge. I think what happened when I did it before, I went too crazy all over them. Now, because I was trying to cover the whole sticker. I know how I would do this going forward. See? As long as we can learn as we make these crazy, chaotic mistakes or hiccups. I'm going to call it a hiccup, okay? I like that better. Mistake is not a very fun word. Because, you know, let's be real. Who wants to make a mistake? Nobody. So, having a hiccup like this, we can learn from it. This is what I would do in the future. I would mix my glitter resin together and I would put it in a circle blob about the size of these on the resin tape, or I would get a circle mold about the size of these and I would fill, not maybe all the way, but like the earring mold, I would do a base of the glitter in that mold, and then I would cure that and I would stick my sticker on it, and I would, at that point, I would go ahead and just so you know, this is tray number 2. I hadn't unwrapped it yet. It's been months. So I'm just unwrapping it so that I can put this in here too. And it turned off, but that's okay because we're gonna restart it. Huh. Maybe. Does the tray not fit? There it goes. Okay. I don't know, it might not fit very well. So yeah, that's what I would do. And then I put the sticker on, and then I would seal it with clear resin, and then I'd pop it out of the mold. That makes a whole heck of a lot more sense. It really does. It makes a whole heck of a lot more sense. I don't know what was I doing, y'all? I was just having fun, I guess, right? I'm trying to see if I have a circle. Now I have square ones, and I have flower shaped, and I've got rounded triangle ones, which these would maybe be cute. Let's see. Oh yeah, like that would be a cute one, you know? Maybe we try that. You could even do it at just like a little angle. So it's that one and that one. So, okay, we're going to try that because we need to redeem ourselves. Now, I know we haven't used any of our sprinkles. Maybe we'll add some to these, okay? We'll see. Okay. These are going to need to cure a little bit longer. They're still pretty tacky on top. That's fine. I put them back in there on that tray. These ones should be done. And I'm excited. Ooh. Oh yeah. I like, it didn't give as much depth as I thought it would, 3D effect. But I do kind of like this. It's rough down here, smooth up here. It definitely gives it a textural thing, but you don't really see that. Maybe when we finish these, we'll play around with that a little bit. Like somehow maybe painting and then wiping it off. I don't know. I gotta think on that one, okay? Think on that, but I do like them. Ooh, I totally forgot I bought this mold and I love it. I love it, y'all. I'm just trying to get this cleaned up a little bit. While it's still sort of warm, you can kind of with your nails just scrape that off, or you can wait to use the Dremel or something when it's a little bit harder. Those are actually really cute. I'm not a huge fan of this green, but I totally wear those on a St. Patrick's Day. Okay, and they're so freaking light. So light. That's what I love about UV resin, is it is so darn light. I had a thought too. Oh, let's see. So I move things to where they're closer to me when I'm crafting, which is fantastic. But I also find myself like stretching in ways that probably thou shalt stretch, you know, because I'm like, oh, I can rage it. It's fine. It's not fine. It's not, but I got it. Okay. Oh. Whew. Yeah. Whew. I felt a little, woo. Okay. So, I was really only going to do, like, I don't know, 1 pair of earrings, maybe 3 pairs, you know, because I feel like that's a lot. Why? It's taped right over, the label is right over our lid to open, so I'm just trying to X-Acto knife it off. Okay. Yep. Alrighty. Now I'm getting in my groove, y'all. I'm getting in my groove. So we're going to use some of this psychedelic because I'm feeling crazy. We're going to put it in this roughened part, this bumpy part. That's a bumpy. I know it's kind of hard to see where I'm working, so I'll put a white thing back under here. Just 1 second. I just got my hands sort of kind of full. I'm just like trying to put extra on there so that it, excuse me, gets enough. Let's see. Where's that white base of ours? This little sticker sheet has been phenomenally helpful. Okay. Oh, yeah. Whenever you go to push out your resin, it does like to blow air, and it can make your mica powder go flying. So you do got to be careful with that. We're gonna have to use our little lighter to get some bubbles. So you could mix the resin with the mica. Absolutely 1000% fine to do that in, you know, a cup like we did with the glitter. With this one though, I just wanted to put it right in. I'm going for a very light, subtle look with it. I'm not wanting a super thick look with it, so I didn't need it mixed directly in. If you wanted it to have less of a see-through look, yep, you're gonna wanna mix it in. If you're fine with more of the thin see-through look, do what I did. You know, it's kind of whatever look you're going for kind of thing. Oh, I just stuck my lighter right on in. That was not so hot or very hot. I don't know which. It worked out. Okay. Let's put that in. Oh, there's lots of bubbles. When I got it in the light where I can really see it, I can see some bubbles, and I knew they were there. But when I went to light them, they were not there. So I am going to just run across the bottom where it's rough here and try to make those bubbles come up. It is mixing the resin with the mica a little bit more than I was anticipating to have mixed, but that's okay. It's still very thin, and it's going to be very see-through. And truthfully, the bubbles are in the rough part, so you're probably not going to even notice them. So we're just going to roll. Okay, now, let's go ahead and mix up some more of this green. I really like this green specifically. Did I? So let's go ahead. We spilled a little, that's fine. Just fine, just fine, just fine. Mix that up. Round and round we go. Where we stop, nobody knows. Alright, so I'm going to put some in here. And I'm going to put some in here. Of course, I'm going to spread these around. Don't you worry, don't worry. We've got it. There's a song. I almost said it, but I was like, I don't want the wrong person to watch this and be like, oh, you didn't shout out the song and give us the rights or have authority. You know, I ain't about that. It's fine. We just here having a good old time, making a mess with some resin and glitter. Oh yeah, we're making a big mess. It's all good and hood. Okay, that is going to look really good with our sticker on top. I just know it. Ooh, 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 look at that. It like did almost like a yellow. Let's see what else we do with that. Okay, let's get that going again. We are going to mix this with some, we're going to use this same little dish. Gets a little bit of glitter in it. I ain't worried. I ain't afraid. I'm not afraid. I'm going on a bear hunt. My kids have that book. It was so fun. I mean, obviously it's a song and I knew it when I was a kid. But they had the book. And oh my goodness, both girls loved that. Okay. It's a little hard to see because we got the UV light going, but it's okay. Now we're being a little bit risky working above the light here, but so far it's been okay. And I'm working relatively fast. If I was sitting here trying to full on design, this green is a little bit weird with that yellowy green, but you know what? Done diddly done. So because I'm working pretty fast with it, it's not going to be an issue. And it turned off. We only had it on for 60 seconds. Oh, there is a big ol' hair. Let's just wipe that off. I'm getting a little chaotic. A little chaotic. That's okay. This will be at least a 2-parter. I might go ahead and make it into a 3-parter just so that we can play with our sprinkles and stuff because we didn't get to play with them. And at this point, I'm like, at this hour, I don't think that I should start something else. I already feel like I have a lot going on. My ADHD is full swing. We be full swinging on that ADHD stuff. I told my husband today, he was like, yeah, good. Because I forgot to tell him I made it to the office. And I was like, oh yeah, when I texted you earlier, I was already at the office. So it just didn't even dawn on me kind of thing. By the way, today that I'm recording this, it is our 22-year dating anniversary. We've been together 22 years, official dating anniversary. We met each other a few days prior. But 22 years ago, on February 11th, he asked me to be his girlfriend. And we've been together ever since. I don't know where I was going with that, but I kind of remember. So, see, my ADHD is full on. But anyway, I was like, oh yeah, when I texted you earlier, I was already at the office, and I said, please don't mind me. I have a full-on, intense ping pong game in my head going. My brain has been all over the board. I'm like, okay, we have this, we have that, we have this, we gotta get this done. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And literally the moment I think about what I need to do, I forget what it was I told myself I need to do. And so I'm just like, could I, oh, I don't like how that laid. Could I get it together is what I've been trying to tell myself today. Like, can we not be ping-ponging so much? But it's just, you know how at Christmas time you feel like, okay, I have so much to get done. If you're the primary shopper, the one to pull everything together. That's what February, March feels like to me. We have a lot of end of February, first half of March birthdays. Mine included. My youngest is also in there. And I've got a lot of friends and other family that have end of February and early March. We got a bunch of Pisces. bunch of Pisces. I just remembered my sister's husband's birthday is in March. He's a Pisces too. So, glad I remembered now. Although, he's going to be so easy. It's going to be, here's an Amazon gift card. Don't worry, I'm not giving away what, he's not going to be watching this. I got a new baby. If he's not going to be watching a craft tutorial for his free time, his spare time. Oh, I like these. That was the way to go. I have to say, that was the way to go. These are fine. You know, they're okay. Just gonna move them out of the way for now. They're fine. Do I love them? Nope, I don't. But they're okay. And that's okay. I'm gonna throw this under the light as well. Oh, I just got UV resin on my tray there, which will probably just cure right up. But the problem with it, when it's on that plexiglass, it's harder to get off. So I'm gonna put it in there. These are still tacky. One thing with mixing the resin in, or mixing the mica in the resin, is it is going to make it a lot thicker, and it's harder for the UV light to get through that, because UV resin means that it's cured by UV light, right? So this is an unnatural UV light that we've got going. Sunshine gives us UV light. So if you wanted, you can put your UV things out in the sunshine if it's sunny. I craft at night. I'd be worried a bug would get in it. Just my own personal thing. But you could protect it outside. There's ways. And yeah, you could do it that way. Or I've had people with like pieces that don't fully cure up. They put it out in the sunshine and it finishes curing that way. So there are options. So that's essentially what we're doing. So if the UV light can't get through to the UV resin, it can't cure it and make it solid. Therefore, when we mix something into the UV resin, we're either thinning it or thickening it. Thinning would be alcohol inks. You have to be very careful with alcohol inks and UV resin from the standpoint of a little bit of alcohol ink can be way too much for UV resin. You need like the tiniest amount of alcohol ink with UV resin because it thins it so much. UV resin is already pretty thin in general, and so when you add that alcohol ink, it thins it even more, and it can make it not cure properly just because it's too thinned out and the properties of it are thinned. When we add a mica powder or a glitter, we're thickening it, making it thicker, meaning there's less resin than colorant, essentially. Even though the colorant, you put a very small amount of colorant compared to the resin, the way it distributes the resin, essentially, the light cannot find its way through the UV resin and cure it, essentially. It just doesn't have a way. The best word, though I don't love the word for this, but essentially the light can't penetrate into that UV resin and harden it. So that's the best way to describe it. Anywho. But so that's a little, maybe more than you wanted to know kind of thing. These cups are probably cured. These were really thin. The nice thing about UV resin and like how that was, we can just cure that in there. It's a little sticky. My hands are already sticky though from everything I've done tonight. And then a little bit of rubbing alcohol would clean that up. It's actually kind of pretty. I might just leave it to the side and let it cure up and then layer it into an earring or a pendant just because it's really pretty. Pretty piece. Okay, let's see if these are done. I think they are. Let's see. Oh, these ones we need a little longer. They're struggling. That's okay. They're just, we're gonna put them on the top shelf. There's nothing else in there now. Man, my voice just went like really weird. Like sounded like I was crying. There's nothing else in there now. But so it's not gonna, it doesn't have anything else blocking, is what I was trying to say. Okay, look at these. These are so cute. We got some extra pieces. We can just pop those right on off. And we're gonna pop these babies out. These are gonna be so much easier to make into earrings. Ouch, that's sharp. They're gonna need a little bit of doming, probably. Just to dome them up. They're a little caved in, per se. And it's a little rough and sharp on the edge. But, look at that. That is so much better. Why didn't I think of that to begin with? I guess it was a hiccup, right? See? I'm gonna beat myself up over it. That's what we do. I just have to remember, sometimes we have to go through a hiccup to come out with a beautiful outcome. And I feel like this is a beautiful outcome. And they are still super, super light. Like, so light. I love it. I love it. So I think next episode, we will use some of our sprinkles. I think I'm going to put them, I want to try putting them in here and putting the sticker over top of it. So it's like, gives it that different layers and definitions. That's one. And then I now have these. I think when we have the drill out, we'll try to drill through these first. Let's see what happens. I don't know, because I don't really know what they're made of. They kind of feel clay-like. Not per se plasticky. And not foamy either. So I want to see how they hold up with me drilling a hole through them before we spend a ton of time on them. Because I would hate to spend time working on them and then it be like my wire, you know, thing. Like, silly, right? Silly. Oh, I'm so glad I found this mold. So glad. So glad. I'm trying to put some things away just because I am really, really trying. 2026, we are trying to have things more organized. We'll see. We see. All right. Whew. Oh yeah, much better. I'll finish curing up too. Ooh, look at that. Because it is yellow, you can see that more. Oh, I like that. I do. I think it'd be really cool with the iridescent one. Like to put that in the rough spot. And then put a color, maybe I wouldn't do like green on green, but like maybe put like the violet blue kind of color, purpley color, iridescent in the rough spot, and then put the green mica over top. I think that would look really cool. But I do like those better than I thought I would. All right, so let's do a little show and tell, shall we? This one's still got a little rough piece. It's not sitting as flat. They need some cleanup, but we expect that. I'm happy with them. Let's get all of our creations here. Goodness gracious. We did some creating tonight. Okay. I can tell you guys clearly, my favorite is this bottom row. Top row, I'm mad at. The bottom row, I'm going to get you guys more in focus here. Un momento. Let me move my chair out of the way. And then I can get these better for you. Look at these. So bottom row, love. Top row, mad at. But who be hating? Look at these. You'll see that? Like, look how cute. They don't come out as good on the video. Let's be real. Glitter is hard on video to show. So I'll definitely have to post when these are all done, like a display final photo for you guys. Okay? I'll actually take the professional photos. I'll get my professional camera out and we will take some good photos of these. And I'll put them in the last episode so you can see, and I'll put them on my socials. They're cute. These are cute. I'm not totally mad at them, but this is the way to go right there. Easy. I'm loving this texture. Oh, these hang this way, by the way. I laid them upside down wrong, or I laid them out upside down. I'm loving that textured. I know that's hard to see in the video too, but maybe with this one you can kind of see the way it's yellow there. There's definitely a texture in that. This one, it's the chunky glitters, more the textured. Whoa, we did not focus. Come on, camera. Yeah, I can't with the glitter. It's too much. But it's textured too, so that's cool. This is a really cool mold. I will try to find it. It's on Amazon, but I don't know. I'll try to find if they still have this version, or if I can find one similar to share with y'all. Well, anywho, hope y'all are well. I hope you're not having as chaotic of a time as me, and we'll see you again soon. Bye, guys.